There we go. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. All right, guys. We have General Manager Tito Ceballos, and we have our sales manager here, Vinny Perez. Yeah. And they're going to answer your questions. They'll just kind of start off by sharing a little bit about the 2025 Scout, and any questions you have, drop it in the comments and we'll get those answered. Let's go.
All right, let's start off by saying how exciting is this new release? They're calling it is not a revolution, but an evolution of the Scout lineup, meaning faster, lighter, just all around better motorcycles. And we're pretty excited to get them here at our dealership here at Pikes Peak Indian Motorcycle. Pre-orders, you can start today by getting them in. We do encourage you to start it from the get-go to get these questions in. There's a lot of news, a lot of information, a lot of excitement out there.
The great thing with these new Scouts is they've improved them without fully changing the design. You look at these new bikes at a glance and it looks like a Scout. It looks like a Scout Bomber. It looks like a Scout Classic. They didn't mess with the actual design. They kept that classic look that everyone's expecting out of a Scout. They just made it better.
And let's start with a few features on these 2025 Scouts. Let's talk about touchscreen display, LED lighting, removable valve covers, cruise control, push to start, improved power and torque across the lineup. ABS is going to be standard. We're going to get larger batteries, plus 20 miles in fuel range. On top of that, a fuel gauge.
Huge. You
That
hear
is
that?
big.
Fuel gauge. Crazy.
Some other things like traction control, improved seat comfort, inverted forks on a few of the models, ride modes, and dual disc brakes on a particular model. Faster, like I said, more stopping power. Technology is finally here on these motorcycles. And then the big one out there is the 101. I encourage you, look into that. That is a phenomenal motorcycle.
Excellent bike.
It's going to light up that Scout lineup. We're excited. I'm sure everybody else will be too. Beyond this, I encourage you to watch the videos that are out there. Go to our Facebook, Pikes Peak Indian Motorcycle. Check out that new video that was just released by Indian. It got me excited before we stepped here or actually sat down. But do check that out.
And one of the cool things about these features that Vane just mentioned to you guys is, if you kind of heard, all of these features are things that people have been asking for a few years on this bike. You know, 10 years ago when this bike came out, there was a different demand for what people wanted out of a Scout than there is today. Today, they want more of that technology. They want to be able to go longer distance on a Scout, and Indian took what you guys wanted and applied it to the new Scouts.
Yeah, I mean, you take for a long time, they did not touch that lineup for years. I believe it was somewhere around 10 years, 10 plus years, where that motorcycle was fine just the way it was. But now we're into an era where technology increases or enhances the riding experience. Indian listened to y'all and they put it on these motorcycles. The design, the flow of it, it's a sexy bike. Top that with the power and again the safety features that they add to it, makes it a great motorcycle, worth exploring, worth looking into, worth considering. Even if you already have a small cruiser or mid-size motorcycle, even if you do have that bagger, it is a great around town motorcycle. They even develop a bike where if you do want to go cross country, to venture in other states, to do these 6-hour rides, they came out with a model just for that kind of riding, and I believe it's the Super Scout. Take a look at that.
So we have a question, and just so you guys know, any questions you have, drop them in the chat so these guys can get those answered for you. Our first question is, what about access to the engine? What about access to the engine?
So, really cool thing that they did on these new bikes. They have improved that tremendously. Now access to the engine is way easier than in the past. They actually redesigned it to be able to work on a lot easier for the technicians. You no longer have to fully pull the engine out of the bike to disassemble the engine. You can do it right there in the frame. So it's the first time they've done this on a bike. It was awesome to hear that they listened to what we had to say about some issues that we had with the bikes and made it that much easier to access.
Love that. Any more questions, guys? Just drop them in the chat. If someone's interested in this motorcycle, I know you kind of mentioned it earlier, Vinny, but like, what would be the next steps?
Simple one from the home. Either get online, reach out to one of us, or give us a call here at 719-528-1901. Ask for one of the sales specialists. You got Hannah available, Christina and Will, myself. You can even call Tito. We're all available to take that information. Sooner the better. Let's get them rolling. We're excited. I know you're excited. I can't wait to ride a few of these.
So, second question. How does the new Scout line compete with Harley?
New Scout line, I mean, it competes very well. I mean, you're looking at the next level in technology that they just put on these bikes to, in my eyes, beat Harley's version of this bike. If you look side by side, we got an engine size that's matching theirs at a lower price, as well as new touchscreen and other technology in these bikes that just go above and beyond what you're used to seeing on this size of bike.
I will say the great thing about it is to personalize these motorcycles. You got different levels of trim available on these bikes. If you like the classic style, keep it classic. If you're somebody that's after cruise control and some of this tech that's available, they have motorcycles built ready to go like that. And of course, they're all interchangeable. So what fits on a Scout that didn't fit on a Bobber in the past now are all interchangeable. So it is pretty cool to first buy a stock motorcycle and then personalize it, which is one of the best things about owning a bike, in my opinion.
Guys, to go a little further into that, he's talking about the accessories. So the accessories for these bikes, this is the first time anyone's ever done this with a model lineup, where no matter which version of the bike you get, everything fits on everything else. It's crazy that they actually did this. The saddlebags now fit on both a Scout Bobber and on a Scout Classic. Before it was just on a Scout Classic, you had to get this really small bag on a Scout Bobber. Now you can have whichever way you want to do it. You want to start with a Scout Bobber and put a fairing on it or ape hangers on it. That same thing can be done to a Scout Classic. They made it crazy versatile for any rider to customize it to you.
Love that.
Well, now you're talking about, again, fuel range. It's been an issue in the past, coming from the other side, Harley Davidson, where I spent many years coming to this side, that you do get a bigger tank. You do have the option to go further on these Scouts, which means something when you're up in these mountains, 2-3 hour rides.
4 gallon?
3 point, almost a little over 3.5, which is giving you 20 plus more miles.
Huge.
And of course, the other cool thing they're doing is giving you the option to put ride modes on this, or the Ride Command Plus digital touchscreen. Just like these bigger bikes where you could have a sport mode. If you like getting on that throttle, that's a great feature. The other one's standard, and then you got rain mode / touring mode, depending on the conditions out there. Very innovative, again, enhancing the riding experience that has been sitting stagnant for a long time from Harley to Indian. So to see these guys get on the ball and enhance these motorcycles, enhance this lineup that was doing fine for many years, is pretty exciting stuff on our side.
What about the colors? What kind of colors do we got coming out?
So colors, they do have some pretty nice color options. Because it's a new model, they don't go as crazy as they do in other models because they are trying to get a new product out to everybody. But having said that, there's a little bit of everything. You got some new bronze colors, some new red colors, obviously black smoke, most popular of all of them. We have those in every model. What else we got? Storm blue, right? Storm blue.
Some pretty sexy colors that are out there. We just put in the order for our motorcycles this morning. It's pretty nice colors, sexy colors to say. That'll be coming here shortly. It was fun to sit there and pick them all out to see all the new designs and colors that go with it. We'll post some information on our Facebook page. We'll get it out there, all the options. Of course, feel free to give us a call here if you have any questions or any concerns. You know, we love what we do here. We love to feed that information to you guys.
Oh, we got another question. When will it be available at the dealership?
So having one at the dealership is still going to be a little bit of time. If you want one quicker, pre-ordering is the best way to go. Right now, pre-orders are taking priority. So they said they will get anybody's pre-order out quicker than they will our inventory. They are currently working on everybody's inventory. They're hoping end of the month, rolling into next month, we'll start seeing these bikes show up, but they will not give us a definitive timeline.
All right, you guys, we're going to give you about 30 seconds for any other questions. If no other questions pop up, we will wrap it up.
So pricing.
Oh, wow.
Something else that we should probably let you guys know about. The great thing with it is they are keeping these bikes at a reasonable price. They're not jumping these way up in price. They're keeping them affordable, as the Scout always has been. It is going to vary based on what you want. Vinny, what kind of price offers we got?
They're gonna range from your classic Scout all the way up to that 101, anywhere from the 13 and some change up to almost touching 17K with everything on it. Fuel gauges, that 111 horsepower, and that I'm talking about the Scout 101 with the piggyback suspension. That is something to behold, to check out, to ride. That's the one I'm most excited about. Again, that Speed Plus engine is producing 111 horsepower on a little Scout like that with dual disc Brembo braking, of course, ride modes, that nice suspension front and rear. One of my favorite ones that have come out, and that one's I think sitting at 16,999 to start, and they get down to that 13 range. So find what fits you best. Give us a holler if you have any questions, and of course we're gonna find the right motorcycle for you. And if it's not here, we'll definitely get it for you.
Well, the great thing, like Vinny had said before, you can get into these bikes at a lower cost and work your way up to that top model. So all the accessories that are on that top model fit on your standard model as well. So if you want that touchscreen later on, it's actually an accessory now to where we can add that to the bike later on. You don't have to just be stuck with a standard gauge the whole time. So keep that in mind too. I mean, build as you go or come with it fully loaded. It's up to you.
Oh, we got one more question.
Oh.
Another one. What is the
No.
weight difference in these new bikes versus the old style? The old aluminum frame versus the new steel frame. Is it way heavier?
It's a lighter bike. It actually is a lighter bike. So by reducing, I guess, the mass on the frame, really, right?
They did smaller radiator. They wanted to go that steel frame so they could, how you say, what they haven't been able to do in the past, as far as customizing these bikes, even chopping it, and create your own. Now you have the ability to do so, where in the past you didn't have that. So it's kind of cool as they foresee going forward. You can do a lot more to these motorcycles here at the shop or at your own shop back at home, which is kind of cool to see. Although, of course, steel frame, they did go above and beyond to create a lighter motorcycle. They didn't want to create a heavier one, so you're talking lighter, faster, and then more performance, more technology. All around, a way better lineup, a way better motorcycle than we produced in the past, and we did have, the number one midsize, say, motorcycle Scout or Cruiser in that market. So to see them to kind of take it to the next level has me excited. I know my team's excited, and going into April and this summer, we can't wait for these motorcycles to get here. We can't wait to put them underneath you, and we can't wait to see them at our future events.
And so too, with that lighter frame, don't forget, they also make the lower center of gravity with it as well. So they're not taking away from anything that the Scout has done in the past. They're just adding to it and making it better. So you're still going to have great ride quality. It's actually going to feel even better. I can't wait to try it out to see just how much lighter and more versatile this bike is when we get one in.
From the Sports Scout to the 101. some gorgeous motorcycles out there. Some exciting stuff. Can't wait to get them here. Can't wait to have you guys put eyes on them, throw a leg over them, and make a mark this summer.
That's it.
The new
Look
Scout
forward to seeing
lineup.
you in here.
All right. See you guys. Say bye to Facebook real quick. We'll do YouTube
Yeah.
second. Adios. And I gotta figure out how to end on YouTube. Do I just press this? Yes. Good job, you guys.
Just kinda